Hey everyone, we've been busy in the gardens this weekend and I thought I'd do a little update. We've had a lot of gray skies here. It was supposed to be a nice sunny day, but the weatherman was wrong. Oh well, at least it's not snowing, right? So this little planter, you can see the chives are up, doing pretty good in there. And then so is the oregano next to it. We tilled up the top half of this garden. And we went and got some strawberries on Saturday and got them planted in. We just got rootstock. And they're planted about every foot and a half or so. I wanted to leave a little bit of room so as the runners come off, I'll fill in the row. The first row is V-Star and the second row is Red Coat. Or at least that's what it was written on the bag. When we phoned them, they told us that they had V-Star and Seascape, but then when hubby brought them home, the bag said Red Coat instead of Seascape. Well, that's fine with me, because if you remember the video I did a few years ago showing how we planted the strawberries in the raised bed, those are Red Coats, and we really like them. They're nice big berry and nice and sweet. Whereas these V-Stars are supposed to be smaller, but very sweet, and are really early in the season. So I'm really looking forward to these. Eventually we hope to fill the entire garden in them. We haven't tilled up the other side yet. We'll be getting to that soon. We did till up the main garden out there, but the crabgrass has come back up just in the last couple of days. It's amazing how quick that happens. So we're going to be tilling that up again tomorrow. The children's garden's all tilled up. It'll need one more, again probably tomorrow, and then we're going to start planting some stuff with them. They're going to get their corn in and some lettuce and carrots, and some of it's going to wait because they want to plant some pumpkins and stuff too. So you can see we were busy making another project yesterday. We built a new pea trellis. Hubby put these posts in for me, and we took the chicken wire that used to be around the raised beds, took them off the little posts, which are right here. We're going to reuse those for some tomatoes and stuff. And we stretched it all out because this chicken wire is really old. It's been used probably for several seasons, but it's still in great shape. So anyway, we stretched it all out and stapled it up, and it looks like it'll be just fine. Eventually we'd like to replace it with hog wire. But for now, I'm hoping this does well. It's for our peas, the Laxton's Progress, that I like to grow. They tend to grow about 6 feet tall and heavy yields. The little trellises we used last year just couldn't hold up to them. And we're going to re-till up this area, and I'm going to make another asparagus patch. I'm going to try going by seed, and I'm going to soak the seed tonight so we can plant it tomorrow. And this isn't grass, this is the garlic. This is the 2 rows that we left, and the empty patches are where we moved it into the raised bed. And the rest, some of it I'm going to move into the flower beds, and some I'm going to leave to put around the melons later, the squashes. The rest will just get tilled in, because they were too small to use last fall. The garlic over here is looking pretty yellow. And we had a lot of rain there just after I transplanted these. And I think it washed a lot of nitrogen out of the beds and stressed them. So, excuse me. So yesterday, I watered them really well, and then I made up compost tea and gave them some of that. And I'm hoping they'll be okay. We'll just have to keep up with the fertilizer on them. The onions are all coming up just nicely. Birds have been bothering them much less in the raised bed. And the onions end right about here. And then the rest of this bed is in beets that I planted yesterday, down to the end. I turned all this over again and pulled all the crabgrass roots out. Crabgrass and wild morning glory or bindweed are real problems around here. This yard is just tons of it. I've been fighting it for years now. This one is still empty. I'm going to get it turned over tonight or tomorrow and get the carrots in. I turned over this side of the bed yesterday as well and got crabgrass out. And from here down is the spinach, which is just starting to come up. There was a few that were up before. You see one of them right there. But I think I see 2 or 3 that are up. But then it all just stopped. When I was too sick to get out here and keep watering it, the bed got pretty dry. And they just didn't keep developing. They're kind of just sitting and waiting for water. You go from soaking wet rain for weeks to dry. Okay, we've got a few new things in the greenhouse. These little sunberries here have pretty much all come up now. And so is the eggplant in the back. The ground cherries, their germination seems to be kind of spotty. Some of them are pretty advanced, and others are just starting to come up. But I think in time they all will. There's some that are just still got the little seed pods on the end of them. The Heinz paste tomatoes are just about all up. This seed is from about 2 seasons ago and it's germinated really well. There's, I think, only a handful that haven't come up yet, but since some new ones were just starting there the other day, I'm pretty sure they all will. The Henderson's pink tomatoes are finally up. They're starting to get their true leaves, just starting to come in. And so are the Bonnie Bess. These are the Sweetie cherry tomatoes, the egg yolks, and the chocolate cherry, and the lemon oxheart. The broccoli in the corner, they're starting to get their true leaves on them too. And the lettuce is doing really nice. I'll be transplanting this out soon. Yeah, the Golden Queen tomatoes are finally coming up. It's supposed to be a nice yellow heirloom. Kind of like a lemon boy, except, you know, heirloom. Or opal pollinated, so that I could save them. And I'm hoping that they'll do well for me. They were the last tomato to come up. They took the longest to germinate. And then the basil is coming up. The cabbages are looking nice. The red ones are just starting to get their true leaves coming in. These ones are growing a little faster. There's no sign of the buttercup squash or the watermelons yet. And down here on the bottom, those are all different squashes. Golden crookneck is in the first tray. They're not up yet. And this one is a mix of cantaloupes. I'm retrying the same 3 varieties I did last year. Heart of Gold, Delicious 51, and Hale's Best. There's 6 of each. Last year was a horrible season for us, being too hot and dry, so I'm giving them all another chance. Hopefully they'll start coming up soon. And what did I put over here? Ah, my Watham butternut squash is over in this one. Excuse me. Those are the French hollyhocks that they haven't come up yet. I'm hoping they do. The seed was pretty old, but I thought I'd give it a chance. And the yellow cosmos is coming up nicely. No asparagus yet. My candulas aren't up yet either. The second planting of the Heinz tomatoes are starting to come up. Down here, the sage is coming up. And back here is catnip. It just started coming up yesterday. So I'm really happy for that. And the first parsley plants come up. The time's up and growing slow, but it's coming. And no sign of the rosemary yet. The celeries are all popping up. and the other cabbages. And these I haven't shown yet. I found some sweet potatoes in one of our produce cupboards that were sprouted a while ago. And the shoots were all white and bleached out because naturally they were in a dark area. So I thought I'd try putting them in some water and see if they'd grow. And all the white has slowly been turning to a nice pink color. And some of it had turned brown and dropped off, but the rest is turning nice, and they're even starting to send out some new shoots. So I'm going to try growing these, breaking the slips off soon as they start getting some leaves on them. There's some small leaves, but they're still pink colored. They haven't opened. And last year I grew them, I bought the slips from Bessie's, but they didn't do very well because of the season we had. And I'm going to give them another try, but I didn't want to have to pay to buy new ones this year, so I'll try it this way. And we had this tilled up the other day too. I believe it was Sunday we tilled this one. And tomorrow we're planning to plant our potatoes. We just have to rebuild the row maker. Hubby went to get it, and it was just in too bad a shape. Some of the wood was rotted. It started falling apart. So he has to build a new one tomorrow before we get started.